Hi guys, it's Dakota. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back to the channel, The Hallowed Cauldron. Can you believe that it is September already? I just cannot believe it. But I will say this, and I'm leading into what we're going to talk about today. Um, I'm sort of glad that this year is almost over. Um, this year, 2022, has not been a great year. And you know, it really hasn't been a great year since COVID, right? But you know, it's not just COVID. For some of us, for some, they've not had maybe a good 5 years, maybe a good 10 years, right? Some of us, there's situations and there's issues that happen. Um, but I wanted to address mine, and so that I can lead into what I want to talk about. So, yeah, you know, I lost two really good friends in 2020. I had to stop and think when COVID was 2020, and I did lose them to COVID. And last year was actually, you know, it was a good year for me. I don't, I mean, I think it was a good year for me. Um, the store was doing really, really well, and I had concerns with COVID when COVID hit. And you know, we followed the CDC rules, and our county where we live, where our store is. I followed the rules and all of that. And so we were really, you know, I was concerned about business because nobody knew anything about what was going on with COVID. And anyways, we got through 2019 and that was fine. You know, there was a lot of emotional stuff going on with that. Like I said, I lost two friends, and then you just have the emotional, people were angry, you know, these people believed, these people didn't, and there was this battle. And instead of respect, you know, like, oh, I respect your policy, so thank you for allowing me to come in. I'll follow your policy. Thank you for letting me come in. Instead, you're going to argue with me at the door about my policy. Okay, well, that don't go shop somewhere else. It was a bad year. 2019 was not good with that in that not 2019, 2020, in that respect with COVID. But then in 2021, last year, things seemed to mellow out. It was really good. It was business back to normal. And it was a great year. It was a really good year. This year, um, however, it's been a tough emotional year for me. I have lost, again, um, another really good friend of mine, not to COVID, and another friend that I have right now that is hospice care, and so I'm, you know, it's hard. It's been hard, and a couple of other things that have been just emotionally very, very trying for me. I'm not ready to speak of those right at this point. So, so that kind of leads me into this subject, and I want to. So the subject is about this, you know, this idea of protection and what can we do about protection, and I want to talk about that a little bit. And um, you know, I kind of started out. I deleted the first part of the video. Well, I deleted it and started a new video. I was only a few minutes into it, but I was talking about shadow work, and that is not what I want to talk about because, and I have mentioned shadow work in a couple of my videos, um, but I haven't really done a video on shadow work. And one of the reasons I have not done that is because each individual person is different. How we deal with things, how we see things, how we confront things, what's happened to us in our past, what's happening to us right now. Everything is different, you know, and every person is different. So again, we have that. What fits for one may not fit for another. So there is not a book. There is not a book. You might find several books. You might find several blogs. You might find several videos on how to do shadow work. However, I think that's great. It's great for ideas. However, that may not work for you. It may work for you because again, that's somebody else's idea. So I decided, that I really don't want to go down that rabbit hole with shadow work. However, I'm just mentioning it because um, shadow work is sort of involved or engaged with this subject, according to me. This is my perspective. This is how I see it. So I'm talking about about protection. Okay. You may or may not have heard that, that bubble of protection. Like we want to make sure that we're in this bubble of protection, whether, we're going out of the house or we're going to work or maybe we had you know, we were in a relationship and there was a breakup and you found out that, the partner was cheating and then now you've heard that that person that they've been cheating with, oh, they're slandering and they're throwing hexes and curses, if you won't like to use those words. That could be a whole other series of videos. I could talk about that. But they're throwing all this energy that isn't serving you your way, or so you've been told. And then let's just say, a week down the road, this is still going on. There's fighting between you and the partner, and then that gets the partner's new person involved, and all of this. It's just chaos. It's total chaos. And then you go outside and you have a flat tire. Oh, they're sending me bad energy. I got a flat tire. They gave me a flat tire, or I stubbed my toe, or who knows, it could be a number of things. Oh, my glasses fell out the car. It could be anything. And we tend to want to put that on the issue, the thing, the person that we feel has done us an injustice. Okay, they've done us an injustice, and therefore they're throwing all this energy at us, and so now bad things are happening. Well, bad things happen. You could be the nicest, gentlest soul. You could be living a wonderful, glorious life. You could have the best partner in the world. Um, Everything is just hunky dory. And you go outside and what? A flat tire? Well, yeah, because we get flat tires for different reasons. Flat tires go flat for different reasons. Or you're not paying attention, you stub your toe. You know what I mean? So it was nobody's fault. It's not necessarily a fault. It's not like anybody sent you a lightning bolt and it struck your tire and so now you got a flat tire. But what I have found through my experience and through clients that I've had and that I deal with and classes that I teach and customers that come into the store, we're all, everybody is looking for this, how can I protect myself? And if you're an empath, I will say that if you're an empath, there are things that you can do to help control that connection to the energy that you might be feeling. Now, again, disclaimer, this is how I feel about it. I'm just putting it out there. Maybe it'll help somebody, maybe it won't. But I feel like once someone recognizes that they're an empath, they feel everything, they themselves become sick, they don't want to go out, they become depressed, they feel like things then because, oh, this person and I took on their energy and now this is happening to me. And I'm not saying that that isn't true. What I'm saying is that it would be true if you allow it to be true. I think that there are things that we can work through to help move that energy on. Now, a good majority of the people that I work with, not employees, but clients, customers, etc., want that protection bubble. How do I stay inside of my bubble? I'm wearing stones. My house is gridded. My car is gridded. I've got wards up everywhere. I'm, you know, saging, smudging, whatever you like to call it, like crazy. I'm burning this. I'm doing this. All of this stuff that I'm doing, and yet this. Well, part of and yet this could be that one, you haven't really cut the cords with that energy. Could be one of the things that you just haven't cut the cords with that. Sometimes there is a reason why we don't cut the cords. Um, Maybe we're afraid, maybe we don't know how. Maybe we still just want that connection. Even though the partner cheated and moved on with somebody else for whatever reason, you still want that partner. And well then, and that's entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you. But back to this bubble. So what's funny is, when I first, and this is years ago, and I want to let me preempt this a little bit on the shadow work thing and this bubble. I'm not saying that I don't believe in a protection bubble, because I most certainly do. I most certainly do. And I should, because number one, I work in an environment where people come and go all day long. And that's different personalities that come in throughout the day, who have different issues, who have different energies, who have different things. And some are hurting, they're emotionally hurting, or they're angry, or they're scared, or they just want to come and look at all the shinies in the store. They're really happy and they want to continue that happiness. So what can I do? Kind of thing. So because of that, and I do believe that everybody is an empath to a degree. Um, Most people, I think, are empaths. Um, when somebody else is hurting, we can feel that. If you're watching a sad movie, maybe you cry, or you tear up at least, or you feel bad for the person. It's just a movie, but you feel sad for the person. Um, and I'm sure that there are some of you that are not, and that's perfectly okay too. Everybody is different. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, so I do feel the need to at least have a way of blocking or shielding everybody's energy, especially when it comes to work. Now, I have, over the years, I was introduced to shadow work years ago, years and years ago. And, I didn't really quite understand it, but then again, I did kind of understand it. Um, so, and I'm not going to get into it here today. I haven't on my videos. I think it's such a personal thing, and it's such an individual way of going about it. So I really don't think that anybody can, teach you how to do it, other than tell you maybe what it is, and then how you deal with it really has to be your own thing. But I'm pretty happy-go-lucky for the most part. I'm not saying I don't ever get angry, because yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I'm not saying I don't ever get sad. Yeah, I do. I'm not saying that people don't hurt me. Yeah, I allow people to hurt me. Yes, I do. But here's the thing. With this bubble, with this protection bubble, and when I was first introduced to the bubble, that's where I was going. Here I am. Gemini, squirrel, stay focused. With the bubble. Sometimes they'll say, you might have seen a video or been to a class or read a book on it or whatever, but sometimes they'll tell you that, you want to just seal yourself up in this bubble of white light, or maybe it's an indigo purple light. Let spirit protect you, and you're encased in this bubble. Well, when I first heard the bubble theory, as soon as the instructor said bubble, I immediately thought, bubbles, like you blow a bubble, and bubbles are clear, but they have like this iridescent rainbowy film kind of stuff on the outside. And I went, ooh, I love that. And one of the things, what I loved about it was that it had all the colors of the chakras, for one, which I already knew about the chakras. So that was a plus. I was like, ooh, it's protecting all of those triggers, all of those chakras. So I liked that. And the fact that it was like this clear bubble, I could see out. So I had a good idea of, what was going on. I could see. I know it sounds kind of weird, but hopefully you'll understand what I'm saying. Okay, so that is my bubble. It can be any color you want it to be. I don't care. It can be whatever you feel. The problem with being in this bubble, having this shield around you, is that sometimes we can become encased in that seal, or in that bubble. We're like sealed inside that bubble. And so then it becomes impenetrable. um, Nothing can get in. Nothing can get in. So, not my concern for you, not my love for you, not my honesty for you, not my authenticity for you, um, not the new person that is interested in you. Um, it's very, very hard for someone to get in to that bubble, because you've worked really hard on making sure that that bubble is impenetrable, and then it is. So so then I think what happens is that nothing, you know what I mean, like you're still sad, or you're still hurt, or you're still afraid, or you're still angry, or you're still whatever, because you put that bubble so that you wouldn't get hurt, but you didn't get rid of that energy. So what I like to tell people is that um, if you have this constant bubble, um, and nothing can get in, it's not really serving your highest good. So for me, one of the ways that I like to work with that is that I think that it's healthy for me to allow that energy to come in so that I can work with it and release it. I want to work with it, and then I'm going to release it. And that's kind of like shadow work. You're facing the worst fear. You're facing that ugly thing. Uh, you know, um, I'm heartbroken because boom, we broke up. Okay. So you're heartbroken. Well, you put this bubble around because you don't want to be heartbroken again, but you're still heartbroken. Like you're heartbroken, and you're waiting for either this person to come back together, which I don't know why you would, but anyway, or you're waiting for somebody else to come in, but they can't come in because you have this wall of protection, because you haven't dealt with that energy of the heartbreak. You haven't looked at it. You haven't examined it and seen the pros and the cons of it, and then released it. So for me, I just don't feel like having that bubble of protection up all the time is good. I don't think that it serves a higher purpose. Um, that is not to say that, well, look what I'm wearing. Yes. So I'm wearing a pentagram because, this is sort of like I don't know, devotion to my path. I don't know what it is. It's pentagram. Um, it recognizes my spiritualism, um, as would a cross or a Star of David or whatever. You know, it's your path. It's your spirituality. It's your religion, whatever. Um, but now usually I have bracelets on, stone bracelets, gemstone bracelets, and they are for different things. Like I wear shungite because I am on the computer a lot at work. I've got the cell phone, and you know, shungite is good for helping with that energy that you get from all the computers and the lights and just, you know, all of that kind of energy. So it helps with that. So I wear that. I like it. I just happen to love tourmalated quartz. And there are some properties about tourmalated quartz that I like and I agree with and I can feel. But I happen to visually, aesthetically, I love tourmalated quartz. So I have a tourmalated quartz bracelet that I wear. Uh, Tourmaline is probably one of my favorite stones. If you know, I'll say that you can have 10 favorite stones. So it's one of the 10 favorite stones. I love tourmaline. When I hold tourmaline, I can like feel a sense of calm. Like I can feel it. It's almost like I can hold the tourmaline and go and get that breath. I don't go, oh, it's so calm. You know, like I don't do that. It sort of allows me to breathe. Um, so, you know, there are stones that help with that and stones that help with protection. Um, but it's, you know, but at the same time, here I am on the computer and I don't have any of my stones on. And there's no stones on my computer because I'm upstairs in the devotion room, and which I probably should have because I don't like, as you know, I don't like electronics up here in my devotion room. so anyway, that's kind of just, you know, that's just kind of where I am with this protection bubble. I mean, you hear so much about it, and and although I do think it's a good idea, I mean, I think that we kind of get carried away with, okay, I got to carry the stones, I've got to grid my house, I've got to put wards up on the property, I've got to, you know, do my mirror magic and you know, uh, do my spell work, and I've got to sage, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do that, and you know, before you're done, what there is no energy. Like what is left? You know, what is left? What's left is you still have to work on you. That is what's left. Oops, sorry. That is what's left. We can't just put that bubble up and think that um, you know, if it was penetrable, we wouldn't have it. I mean, why would you have that bubble if something can get through? You know what I mean? So we use it for protection, and so that things, you know, can't get in. But that would mean even the positive influences really can't get in. And if you say, oh well, I have a little hole right here for those to come in, well then wouldn't the negatives be able to come in as well? So just it's just something to think about, you know. It's there are times when you have to let the bubble down, let the shields down, and deal with the issues, and let the energy come in, work with it, deal with it, and then let it go. Why is it bothering you? Why are you afraid? Why do you feel like you have to have protection? You know, oh, because that person, they you know, I heard they were putting, you know, sending stuff my way, or they're a big powerful sorcerer or whatever. Well, maybe they are, you know, maybe they are. What about your powers? You know, do they know what your powers really are? And if you give into theirs, then you are susceptible to maybe, you know, taking a longer while to release that energy. So anyway, that's what I was thinking about today was um, just how I have to be careful of that as well. Um, through this year has been tough. This year has been really tough with the losses and just things, just other things, and putting up that shield. Because it's like, okay, I can't take anymore. Boom, I'm putting this up. I can't take it. And then I went, well, wait a minute. You put the shield up, then you're not working with it. You're not working through it. You're not allowing it to come in so that you can work with it, so that you can observe it, so that you can understand it, so that you can get a grip on it, so that you're able to release it. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about today, and hope that helps. Hope it makes sense. Again, this is what works for me, and maybe you'll get something and maybe you won't, but that's what I'm dealing with. And other than that, it's September. You know what that means? It means next month is October, and you know what that means? Woo! Samhain, and I am so excited. I am so excited for Samhain this year. Anyway, have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, be kind. Bye, guys.